as you may understand, I love talking about AMS2 and playing AMS2, but that wasn't Razer's first sim, because it has a 2 in it. So, today, we're having a look at Automobilista 1 and seeing if it's how good it is in 2024. And when I mean good, I'm going to take in all aspects, and physics and everything will obviously be subjective, so my point of view might not be your point of view, but let's get into it. Okay, so now we are finally out driving, and as you can see, the graphics are a bit older, which is understandable.
All clear, go, go, go.
Learn that this the sim is based on the R Factor 1 engine, which I think is maybe close to 2 decades old. I'm not so sure, but it's very old. And I'm driving around Interlagos, for those who want to know. So far, I've had quite a few issues trying to drive the car out of the pits. I don't know how realistic that is, because I keep spinning it and I didn't have a pit speed limiter gotten mapped. You can't feel that limit a lot with the FFB settings I have, but you can feel the rack, and that's quite nice. I maybe need to add some dampening to...
Watch out, yellow flag.
...to the FFB, but it feels... Probably with proper adjustments you can try and get it... get it good, that you can feel, but I can't feel a lot. But you can lose this car quite well, which I mean means it's not planted, which I see as a good thing, because I'm not sure about how this car actually handles.
Yellow
Okay,
flag.
it's really hard handling this car. Maybe I should switch. Those I can feel. But this game feels quite nice actually. It's just this traction loss, which I don't fully feel.
Watch out, yellow flag.
Could it be the FFB being a bit wrong? I'm not sure. But as you saw there, I just crashed. So maybe this is a good time where we switch car and track. Because a thing I will be talking to you about currently, which I like about this game, is that it's moddable. A lot better than Automobilista 2. So what you can actually do is take... download any cars. I think they've made like a lot of Formula 1 cars, the LMDH cars they made, so that's quite fun that they have. So including that, they can also make track mods. So let's us choose a certain track which a lot of people hope will come to AMS 2, and that is, if the track will want to load, is Sebring. And I've switched car to the Formula Trainer, which I know I've driven quite a bit in Automobilista 2, so I think I should know quite a bit about it. Let's see how these mods are, because obviously these aren't laser scanned, So they won't be 100% perfect, or what I mean is you won't feel the bumps as much. But yeah, I can clearly feel the difference in this car compared to the other one, the Ultima GTR, which I drove. That was a good. I lost it, but I could have probably prevented it, but then I would have gone into the wall. But it's nice to feel that there is a clear difference in cars. Also, the basic camera settings I see are a bit like the ones in Automobilista 2. It moves around a lot and gives you maybe a bit of a floaty feeling. What now that means, I have no idea, since I've never felt it in Automobilista 2, and I don't feel it here. So whilst driving, I can talk to you about, from driving this, just having not my first look, but one of my first actual proper sitting and driving times. And what I can say is, this game feels very nice. The FFP, obviously you can fine tune, since I'm just jumping in and seeing how it is for a a person who's a novice to the sim, as in barely know anything about it. What I can say is the camera settings are a bit off. The FFP, obviously, as I said, is a bit off, but that's probably just mine settings on my steering wheel due to it being perfected for AMS2 and a certain custom FFP file I use. But this sim
Watch out, yellow flag.
looks really nice, and I can feel that there is a difference to Automobilista 2, and I can understand what people mean by how they want the cars to be. In my opinion, when driving these cars, from what I've seen, I haven't seen these cars in real life, but in my opinion, from understanding what these types of cars are and seeing similar cars drive, I would say maybe the Automobilista 2 one is a bit better. Because it seems here you can slide a little bit, but maybe the sliding part here may be a bit too literal, and you lose it quite quickly. So that's my only gripe with the physics, but obviously that's just my opinion. I like this part though, about the brakes. I don't know if it's, I don't remember if it's in AMS2, but I know that certain feeling is really fun. And it makes me feel like I'm driving a go-kart. Yeah, there you could see the two. You lost it, but yeah. Then the obvious graphics are old, but I know a lot of people don't really care about graphics, since some of the more popular games, maybe not, yeah, because you have iRacing, which is very old. That's one of a very popular game, and you have also games in other genres, which are very old, but are played a lot. So I wouldn't say the graphics are a negative part if you, for a lot of people. But still there are people who like graphics like me, and I prefer playing AMS2 in terms of that part. So if I say about the physics and everything, or just the driving experience, I'm just talking through here, I would say you can learn to drive it. I just think
Yellow flag.
obviously you have to get used to everything. But in my opinion, I think maybe because a bit too have too much of a cliff where you get at the end of slip angles. That might be wrong. Some people might disagree with me, and some people might also say, oh, you're wrong, and show me official videos. And I will say that I will be wrong then. But this is just an opinion I have from what I've seen. The modding, yeah, the track feels flat, but it's obvious, it will be obviously that way since it's a mod which isn't, as far as I know, it might be laser scan, but it doesn't feel like it. Then after I've completed this lap where I might find some other gripes, I will talk about the price. Okay, I have the clutch is a bit engaged, but that's one of my issues. If you're saying that, the sun looks a bit odd, in my opinion. But the small nuances of driving here feel actually quite nice. But that's mainly the rear locking a bit when you're braking and still have traction, which I really like. It feels like a great pedal stated. Sounds quite nice too. I need to really learn Sebring. Maybe I should drive it here if it gets confirmed in Automobilista too. Now let's get on to longest straight of the circuit. It's funny seeing LMDH cars and these very stiff race cars driving here, since they just are bouncing over all of the bumps. It would be really fun to see if it gets added to Automobilista too. Where's the finish line? There it was. So that was my things about Automobilista 1 when talking about the driving experience, the graphics and everything. But let's go into Steam and see how much it costs. So as you can see here, we have Automobilista, and the price in Europe, which is where I'm located, it costs 24 euros. But if you want to buy all of the tracks and everything, they have a Ultimate Edition, which you can see here, which costs 27 euros instead of 54. So that's a very good price. But if we look at the price history, you can see here, it goes for normally like 28, but then it goes down to like 13 here, and recently gone down to 7 euros. That's in Europe at least, or if you're in similar regions, is not a lot of money. I know I've heard of Latin America having quite a bit of issues having it in the dollar, so that might not be viable currently. But if you're in other parts of the world where they don't have economic issues, you can see here that it's definitely not a lot of money. So, is it worth it? So should you like ignore it? I'm taking the car wow system now. Should you ignore it? Should you wishlist it? Or should you buy it? In my opinion, if you like a game where you can mod and you don't care about graphics and you can fine tune like some things, a lot of minor tire physics and things, then I would buy it. Obviously, it doesn't look like, to me at least, that it's not the same big modding platform as Assetto Corsa, which is why that's a lot bigger than this. But I would still think it's worth it, especially if you get it for that discounted price. But what do you think? Comment it down below. And whilst you're down there, please hit the like button and also subscribe. My next video will... What will it be on? Well, we never know, because I'm still waiting for Thunderflash to release his LMP1 mod, which hasn't happened yet and has been delayed. But hopefully it will release the week of uploading this video, so I can download it and give it a review. Otherwise, we might see another circuit guide. But until then, I've been Racing Legend, you've been my amazing viewers. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!